Today I'm going to be talking about the health benefits of red meat. Let's start. Hi everybody, I hope you're okay. My name's Dr. Hood. I'm a medical doctor and health coach here to help busy people like you eat more, exercise smartly so you can lose weight and stay healthy. Today we're going to talk about the benefits of eating red meat. Now this may or may not sound like a controversial topic, but let me start off by saying that there are only two reasons to eat food. Either it provides you with nourishment or it's enjoyable. And sometimes, most of the time, it should be both. Sometimes you'll end up eating foods that are not so enjoyable, but you include them in your diet because you know they're good for you. And quite often, you're going to include foods that have no nutritional benefit, but you eat them because you enjoy them. For example, fries or cakes or donuts. If you enjoy eating meat, comes into the category that is both enjoyable and provides you with a lot of nutritional benefit and does not have the harms that are often associated with it. Meat, particularly red meat, has often been portrayed as being more harmful than beneficial and something that you should minimize in your diet. We often hear reports about the links between red meat and the fats in red meat and diseases such as cancer, diabetes, heart disease and obesity. In my opinion, and in the opinion of an increasing number of scientists and clinicians, red meat is a good source of nutrients and causes minimal, if any, harm to the body if consumed in the right quantities. Obviously, nothing can be eaten in isolation, and a diet that includes red meat also needs to include proteins and fats from other sources and plenty of non-starchy vegetables. I always say you should only eat things that are nutritious or enjoyable. And ideally, most of what you eat will be both nutritious and enjoyable. Occasionally you're going to eat foods that are good for you, but you don't really enjoy them much and you force yourself to eat them. And obviously you're going to treat yourself with things that are enjoyable that have no nutritional value. For example, a donut. Meat is definitely one of those things that is nutritious. And if you enjoy eating red meat, then it is a food you must include in your diet. So let's start talking about the health benefits of red meat. Number one, it provides you with your macronutrients, in particular protein and fat. It includes the building blocks of proteins, amino acids, and includes your essential amino acids, which are called essential because your body is unable to create them. It needs to get them from a dietary source. It's rich in good fats, in particular saturated fats, monounsaturated fat, and the right balance of polyunsaturated fats, and is rich in omega-3s, which are known to be anti-inflammatory. You need fats for essential bodily functions, growth, and repair. And like essential proteins, you have essential fatty acids. Your body is unable to create them, it needs to get them from your diet, and red meat is a good source of that. There is evidence that grass-fed and organic red meat is higher in the anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for you. However, I wouldn't get obsessed with this detail because often it's harder to find and more expensive. I would concentrate on increasing the amount of red meat in your diet if you're limiting it, and also find other sources of fats and proteins, as well as maximizing your non-starchy vegetables. The second health benefit of red meat is that it's a great source of micronutrients. Quite a lot of vitamins and minerals are present within red meat, including things such as zinc, iron, selenium, and vitamins such as vitamin D, and many B vitamins, in particular vitamin B12, which is only available from animal sources, including red meat. The protein and fat content of red meat means it's very satiating, which means it fills you up, so you won't get hungry immediately after meals and go looking for snacks, with the risk being that you may eat sugary or processed carby snacks, which will affect your weight loss and health goals. Another benefit of red meat is that it does not stimulate fat-storing hormones, like insulin. Unfortunately, the modern Western diet is high in starchy and processed carbohydrates, which do stimulate fat-storing hormones such as insulin and also lead to increased inflammation. Key to controlling your weight and also your general health is to limit the amount of carbohydrates in your diet, particularly the bad processed carbs, but also to extent the good whole grain carbs. However, none of these benefits means anything if red meat causes chronic diseases such as cancer, diabetes, or heart disease. Well, rest assured, the evidence that good quality red meat is linked to these chronic diseases is weak or non-existent. Studies that have examined the link between red meat and chronic disease have often lumped together processed and unprocessed meats. Processed meat is meat that is chemically treated and/or mixed with bulking agents such as sugar, processed carbs, or bad fats. When separated, it was found that the processed meats had a possible link to certain chronic diseases. However, there's no proven link between unprocessed fresh red meat and cancer, heart disease, diabetes, or other chronic diseases. In the description below, I provide a link to one such study which shows that there's no link between unprocessed red meat and colorectal cancer. This is known as a meta-analysis, or a study of several studies, in this case 27 studies from Europe, North America, and Asia. The authors' conclusions were that there was no increased risk of developing bowel cancer when eating unprocessed red meat, and a possible increased risk when eating unprocessed red meats. I should point out, however, that other studies have found a stronger link between processed red meat and an increased risk of developing bowel cancer. However, this is not comparable to, for example, the risk of developing lung cancer with smoking. The other thing that unprocessed red meat does not cause is coronary or ischemic heart disease, diabetes, or obesity. Let's take a look at another study. Again, another meta-analysis, this time looking at 20 studies incorporating over 1 million people within all these studies. It found no association between unprocessed red meat consumption and the risk of developing heart disease or diabetes, but it did find a correlation between eating processed meats and developing heart disease or diabetes. I provide a link for the study in the description below. Another way in which red meat has been linked to heart disease is because of its saturated fat content. And in another video on my channel, I provide evidence that this link is also quite weak or non-existent. Putting all of this together, the balance of harms and benefits favours including red meat in your diet. The more you exclude from your diet that is nutritious, the more likely it is you're going to eat things that are harmful. Nothing is good in excess, of course, but red meat is high in good fats, proteins, and micronutrients, and is great to have with a pile of non-starchy vegetables to give you an all-round balanced meal. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have, please consider subscribing so you can get alerted for videos which are posted on a weekly basis. If you want more information on how I include meat and other healthy fats in my diet to stay lean and relatively healthy, then check out the description below where you'll find a link to my free Fat Loss Starter ebook. Thanks for watching.